Can I get a your? Hi guys, it's been so long. We haven't, I don't think we've recorded a video in like a month. There's been a lot going on. I went back to work and it's just been hectic. Anyway, never mind all that. It's Pride Month. Happy Pride. So I thought it would be a good idea for me to film my coming out story. Erica's not going to be in this video because she doesn't really have a coming out story, honestly. So it's just me. So where do I start? There's a lot to tell. I'll start with the first person I told. So the first person I told was my best friend Maranjali. I was at her house in Baltimore. It was summertime and me and her were outside, and I was like I want to talk to you about something. And she's like, what's up? And I told her that I've been texting and like talking and flirting with someone. And I was like, but you're really never gonna guess like who it is. And she's like, I don't know who. And I told her it was a girl. Mind you, she doesn't know Erica, so it was just a random girl to her. And she was like, okay, and I'm like, it's a girl. Like, I thought it was like such a big deal. Like, obviously I was scared. That was the first person I was telling. And she was basically just like, so what? Girl, boy, does it matter? And I told her that I thought it was just a phase. Like, maybe it's just something that I felt like I needed to do and get over with. Like, it was just a small phase. I know now that that's not a phase. Like, that's not possible for it to be a phase. But yeah, so basically Rondre took it so well. She made it so easy for me. Like, that was really the first person I came out to, and it was like so easy. The rest of my friends took it well too. Jerica, my other best friend, she took it well. I don't know, I feel like it wasn't a shock to her because I feel like we've always talked about like girl crushes that we've had. Always celebrity girl crushes though, never like someone in real life, but it wasn't a shock to her. She took it well. All my friends really like welcomed me with open arms. No one questioned me like, are you sure, or anything. They were really just curious about who it was. They all wanted to see pictures of Erica. So yeah, my mom, honestly, my mom guessed it. Like, it's so weird. Like, I was on FaceTime a lot and on the phone a lot at this time. Like, always flirt. She would hear me flirting and giggling on the phone a lot. And she finally asked me like, are you talking to someone or something? And I was like, yeah, I am. And I was like, but you're never, same thing I said to Maranja. I was like, you're never gonna guess, like, you're never gonna guess it. And she's like, what is it, a girl? And I'm like, how did she know that? How did she know that? And I was like, yeah, how did you know that? And she was like, I don't know. You said I'm never gonna guess it, so I just guessed like the craziest thing. And she was like, so you're gay now? And I was like, I don't know. I've always been like curious about it, so I don't know. Same thing. I was like, I don't know. This could just be a phase. I feel like that was just me downplaying myself because I was in denial, basically. So I told her that maybe it was just a phase. I'm gonna have to keep going like on my phone to look at my notes because there's like a lot of things that I need to like cover. What else with my mom? So yeah, she just asked me to see pictures of Erica. I showed her pictures, and yeah, it was honestly so, it was a breath of fresh air telling my mom. Like, she made it so easy for me to like tell her. You know, I was scared, but then at the same time, like, I've always been close to my mom. I'm that girl that like I tell my mom everything ever since I was younger. Like I gossip with my mom. Like, she's really like my best friend, and I told her everything. So I knew she was gonna be supportive. Not for one second did I think like, oh, my mom's gonna like kick me out, or like, what's it called? Like, not, you know, when people, what is it called? My brain is not working right now. Like, when people disown, like, not for one second did I think my mom was gonna disown me or say anything bad at all. She was supportive since day one, and that made me so happy. And I really, really, really appreciate my mom for that. Because I know it could be hard for parents, and I know for your family in general. And not only that, but just thinking of how society is gonna now see your daughter and how like all the things she might have to go through is hard for a parent. So I really, really, really love and appreciate my mom like times 100, because like she didn't have to be that way, but she's a great mom for that. Ooh, I'm not crying. So next was my grandparents. So my mom was the one that had to tell my grandparents, because I just couldn't build up the courage to, and it took a long time for my mom to even do that. I couldn't build up the courage to. Not only that, but my grandparents mostly speak Spanish, and it's hard for me to talk to them about something like that. So my mom told them, and honestly, they took it like way better than I expected. Like, you know, my grandparents are from a totally different generation, like, and the older generation, like they weren't around, like there wasn't as much LGBTQ as much as there is now. So I know that they come from a different generation, and you know, I knew, well, I thought it was going to be so hard for them, but honestly, like it went so much better than I expected. My grandma even texted me after the fact and told me like, we love you and we are here for you no matter what. And don't ever think that we don't love you, and we support everything you do. Like literally, that's what she texted me, and it meant so much to me, because like she didn't have to text me, you know. She could have just been like taking it in and taking a few days, and whenever I saw her next, she could have did that. But it meant so much to me, and they were so open. Like they, like even now, they always ask about Erica. When they call me, they ask about Erica, like how's Erica, blah blah. They met her, but I'll leave that to the end. But yeah, my grandparents mean a lot to me. So their approval meant everything to me, and well, not approval, but acceptance meant everything to me. And I was so relieved. Like that was such a big weight off of my shoulder. I definitely cried tears of joy that day. Like it was like tears of joy because I was relieved, and tears of joy because like I was accepted, and yeah, I was so happy that day. All right, so the next person I told was my dad. I'll just start by saying me and my dad, we don't have like the best relationship. We're not close. Him and my mom got a divorce when I was very young, like fourth grade, fourth grade. So, you know, I haven't lived with him, and he has a wife, and my brother, he had my brother with his new wife and stuff. So, you know, we're not as close. He lives in New York, and yeah. So if I'm being honest, I didn't feel like I owed it to him to tell him, because I'm not here to bash or throw dirt on my dad at all. I'm just being honest. But I didn't feel like I owed him anything to tell him, because he doesn't know a lot about my life as it is. So I feel like that's letting him in to like where he doesn't need to be, basically. But on the other hand, I was really thinking about my brother. When I wanted to come out to my dad, I was thinking about my brother, because at this point I was tired of hiding. Like I couldn't ever post pictures with Erica or like talk about anything. Like I was hiding my whole life. Like felt like I was living a double life, and I couldn't do it anymore. Like, and I have my brother on social media. He's old enough. And I wasn't just gonna like post it and have him see this and be like, what is this? And be confused, you know? So honestly, I told my dad so he could tell my brother. So for a while, my dad would ask me like, when are you getting a boyfriend? When are you getting a boyfriend? Blah, blah. And I would just lie and be like, oh, I don't want a boyfriend, blah, blah. And one day I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna tell him. So I was like, remember that time where you asked me like, where's the boyfriend's at? And I was like, well, I've actually been talking to a girl. And he was like, a girl? Really, Natalie? And I was like, yeah. And basically that was like, he cut the combo off. He was like, all right, well, I'll talk to you later, and like hung up the phone. And I just knew that he was like disappointed. And oh my God. Like, I just called my mom and I cried to her. And I told her what happened, and she was pissed, like, obviously. She was obviously pissed because she just feels like that's my dad and he should have supported me. She basically convinced me to call him and like talk to him more, because that's not like what I deserved. Like, I didn't deserve for him to like cut off the conversation like that. So I decided to call him back, and I was like, what did you mean? Like, why did you say it like that? Like, what do you mean? A girl, really? And he was like, because like, that's not normal, Natalie. Like, that's not normal. Nobody expects their kid to like be gay. So we got into like this kind of an argument, and I just told him, like, I asked him, like, why do you think you can judge like anything in my life when you haven't even really been a part of it? And it was just the same thing. He was just saying like it. He was just saying the same thing, like it just like it's not normal. And like, I don't want to fault him completely, because obviously, just like my grandparents, he's like of an older generation. And not only that, but my dad is very Dominican. And not to say every Dominican is like this, because clearly my mom and my grandparents weren't like this, but a lot of Dominicans are like that. So, you know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to sit here and like bash my dad or anything, but I'm just telling the truth. The honest and the hard truth of what it is. Like, it's like a lot of people have way worse coming out stories than me. Mine was basically just one person took it wrong. It's just messed up. That was like my dad that took it wrong. But I feel like if you're gonna have kids, you should accept them, like, no matter what. But that's what it was. And I mean, I never really got an apology. To, like, right now, me and my dad are on okay terms. Like, we're on terms like we always are, just okay terms. I never got an apology. The next time I spoke to him, he called me and like acted like everything was normal, and I was like, you're just gonna act like everything is normal? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not gonna get an apology? And he's like, I'm sorry, but nobody wants to hear I'm sorry, but that's what it was. I'm sorry, but it was a shock and it came out of nowhere. Nobody expects their kid to be gay, blah, blah, blah. I just decided to just drop it, because you know what? It's my life, and like, nobody has to live my life or go through what I go through and go through the ups, downs, whatever, except for me. Yeah, I just decided to let it go. So yeah, next, my little brother. So my dad did end up, I never really knew if my dad told him or not. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. And I messaged my brother, and I was basically like, I don't know if Bobby told you, but this and that. And he was like, yeah, he told me. And you would think, because he obviously lives with my dad, and like, obviously that's who's raising him, that he would like think the same, but he didn't. He was actually like, what you love is what you love. Like, cause he was like, no, I'm not shocked. Like, what you love is what you love, and what makes you happy is what makes you happy, basically. And like, I was really, really proud of him for that, because, you know, that means he's more of a freaking adult than other people, or like, you know, He's not judgmental. So yeah, that was basically it for my coming out story. I don't know if I want to like give people trying to come out advice. I feel like I'm not far into the game yet to do that. But you know what, just be yourself, and like you'll feel so much better when you're yourself. Like you don't want to be feeling like you're living a double life. Like that's not the way for anyone to live. And if anyone has something negative to say, like it's your life. Like it's no one else has to live your life but you. Like, and you have to live your life to the fullest. You only have one life, and you have to live your life happy and being yourself. And yeah, but yeah, that's it. Happy Pride Month. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye.